Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we have to talk about it. 2025 buy assets that pay you. That is the key. Assets pay you. And beyond that, passive income is mandatory. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos because you never know who's out here listening, who needs this information, because there's a lot of turmoil happening regardless of the stock market. And the reason I'm going to talk about regardless of the stock market is because I have something to put on the screen so people will understand. Just because you may be fine, you may be in the top 10, top 20, top 30% of the wealthiest in America. Not everybody is. And as you guys may or may not know, a rising tide lifts all boats as long as we're all trying to have a rising tide. If we're trying to just make sure that the top 20, top 10% get all the goodies, all the wealth, then we have a problem. So therefore, that's why I need you, the OCs, ordinary citizens, to get with the game plan. You can't let the rich guys get rich by themselves. Do what they do. You got to buy those assets. You got to buy some stocks. You got to buy a little bit of crypto, a little bit of gold. You got to buy the same things. Even real estate, you have to be in that too. But bottom line is, you're also going to have to get out of your comfort zone. A lot of people here in America have been taught from an early age to be an employee, take orders, listen to what you're doing, learn on the job. But you aren't the boss of the company making thousands percent more than the persons that work hourly or on salary. So therefore, you're going to have to hone some new skills, unfortunately. That's right. Does not matter your age. Everybody has to get new skill sets because I'm about to show you something on the screen now. In fact, let me get this up because I want to show you why the conversation has to be this for tonight. Look here, ladies and gentlemen. Look here. In 2024, the median income for the bottom 90% earners in the United States was approximately 40,000. We'll round up 41,000. Can you believe that? So again, just for illustration purposes, if a person wanted a one-bedroom apartment, and in a lot of states, that's $1,500 a month, just buy your 40,000 because you have to make 1,500 times 3, 45,000, or I'm wrong, sorry, 4,500 per month, which ends up being 50,000. So now you see how bad it really is, because you would not be able to qualify for moving into most places, even a one bedroom in America, if they're apartments. A house, well, they might be 15, 14, 1,700 as well. But again, you're not going to qualify. Most people have debt because it's based on your debt to income ratio. So again, median's not going to work. And that's the bottom 90%. 90%. That's over 270 million Americans. That's the median income for the bottom 90. That's taking out the top 10%. because now we're not including the billionaires, the millionaires, which is only 3,000 billionaires. Well, I don't even know if they're all in the US, but there's around 60 million millionaires. So you have to include those to get up to 60, 70, or 80,000 a year median income. Imagine that. That should scare you to the bejesus, because two people cannot afford a $400,000 home with the median income being 40,000. Median is not average. Median is when, let's keep it simple, 300,000 people and you pick the 150th person. Does not matter. You don't have an average. You're not combining anything. You're just going the person directly in the middle on the scale is the median income. That's 40,000. So there's 150 or 149 would be 149,000 would make more than 40,845. Whether it's $2, $3, $5 until you get up to 60,000, 70,000, 80, 90. Then there's some that make under. So they make 39,900 and it starts going down. Half of the population is above the 40,845 and half is below. That's a lot of people when there's 350, 375 million people in the United States. That tells you half of your citizens cannot afford even a freaking 1-bedroom apartment. All right? Think about that. Supposedly the richest country on the planet, but we're not. We're 37, going to be $41 trillion in debt over the next few years. Not the richest when you're in debt. All right. Hopefully that settles that, ladies and gentlemen. Now you know where I'm coming from this Monday. All right, let's see who's in the house tonight. It's post-retirement travel. I know he was sitting here today getting the notifications, hearing the dividends coming in, aka passive income, doing the salsa dance, getting ready to pack up and go on his next worldwide tour, part 2, because he has passive income coming in. Again, welcome to the SSN Nation Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hello, all. Let's do this. That's what we do here. Get your pen, pads, and papers ready, because you never know. Some information may be shared that you may need. Tomorrow, OCs, ordinary citizens, you're going to have to start paying attention. I would suggest to the stock market. I suggest you be in the stock market, because tomorrow the inflationary report comes out. Some earnings reports come out. Well, we know what's going to happen because they're based on some tariffs came out. All I heard was pause, pause, pause. I don't think keeps kicking the can down the road for the most, particular ones that's going to hurt even more. So what's happening right now? People are loading up the boats, loading up the shipments to get over here before the next round of so-called tariffs are supposed to happen. We will see how this all affects everything, but I do know it affects Jerome Powell and the board of governors from the Federal Reserve. No, they're sitting there pulling their hair out like, can we just get this guy to just calm everything down so we know where we're at? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, post-retirement travel, he says. Haven't we talked about daily cup of coffee, purchase of Bitcoin? Yes, for 2 years. 2+ years, quite frankly. So when it was 75,000, when it was 55,000, we were telling people no more of them high risk, low reward crypto altcoins. We said Bitcoin, Ethereum. And yes, it exploded to 123%. I don't know where it is right now, but it does not matter. It was only under 100,000 last year. So everybody, once again, a 25% plus return year over year. You can't beat this. This has a record now of multiple years. So now, why would you sit on the sidelines for a little bit of Bitcoin? Again, the beauty of Bitcoin is you can spend $5 every week and just dollar cost in. I mean, it doesn't take much to start. That's the beauty of Bitcoin, because this is the next revolution. AI, Bitcoin, because ETFs are coming out, in case you're new here and don't understand why it would move up like this. It's because there's companies, there's corporations, there are ETFs. People are putting money into it, and also the Vanguard group, the BlackRock groups. So therefore, and there's a crypto event at the White House, apparently. I don't know exactly where it is, but that also means a rise, because they know people are going to talk. They're going to be up there lobbying. They're going to talk to the officials, the senators and representatives, and say, hey, change the law to do it this way, so we're going to be all good, fixing the game, so to speak. So therefore they can win, but we have to be in it too, so we can win also. If you sit on the sidelines, you're not going to get these passive gains. You need passive gains, ladies and gentlemen, more than inflation. So when somebody says things go pretty much on average 25% increase in the price, yes, that means you could sell at a 25% higher. This is true. Or you can wait it out for a few years and see if you can get that 100% or 200% return. But going forward, now you know, don't be chicken later on. If it drops down from here, he says it's pulled back to 119, buy. If it pulls back to 110, buy. If it pulled back to under 100,000, buy. It has a track record of dipping significantly, giving you opportunity after opportunity. But I don't think that's what's going to happen over the next 2 years. This is unlike anything else, because we now have a government that says we want to be the crypto capital of the world. Before, it was trying to keep it muddy. So I just have to say it like it is. This was so the banks and people who are doing ETFs would have time to buy up Bitcoin in the background, all the while telling people, no, don't buy crypto. It's worthless. What is it? This, that, and the other. So they could keep the price in the 50,000s, in the 40s, in the 10s and 15s for a few years and things like that, until they could get some framework where they can get it. As soon as they got the ETF situation handled, then they started releasing it a little bit, not really messing with it. But that's why it has not grown substantially. Now that we have the ETFs, now that it's all a go, where you can actually do something, they're talking about tokenization. That's even scarier, quite frankly. That's what they're saying. So if they're going to allow everything that has been allowed in crypto around the world, except it was illegal, and now it's legal, it's going to blow the doors off. And that's what we're seeing here, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. All right. Brian P's in the house. EV Place is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Another investor. He's happy about his dividend returns, that passive income coming in. And he brings his tagline, good evening, everyone. Button smashed. That's right. Give it a one piece, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for doing that, but make sure you share the videos. Also, EV Place, very, very happy to see you in the house tonight. Brian P., Mr. Dividend himself, is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline, Happy Day, Eric. Thank you. Appreciate it. I hope all is well with you. Thank you. Yes, happy day, SSN family. Smash that like button. He also gave it a one piece. I greatly appreciate it, because we have to let the social media gods know that we're in the house. All right. Happy birthday, Eric. Thank you so much, Brian P. Happy belated birthday for you. Hopefully you had a great weekend. I appreciate it. All right, quick update from YieldMax Wallet EV Place. Thank you for that update. Plus 6.5% last week, 14% last month, and 32% last 3 months. And some people would say, well, wait a minute, how's he doing this 32% in 3 months thing? That's like, are we saying it's 10% per month? What are we talking about here? That would be over 100% in a year's time. You guys, you're getting the picture. All right. So what I'll just tell you some of the things I know. It's like SMCY. That's a YieldMax ETF fund. SMCY. Okay. MSTY, MicroStrategy, which once again is pumping up because crypto's pumping up. The MicroStrategy company actually buys Bitcoin. MSTY is an option income because they trade options with MSTR, which is my strategy. And when the price goes up and down, people are buying and selling, and there's fees, and they give out the fees as part of the dividends. So, what would you do or should do? A recommendation: MSTR, a little bit of that, a little bit of MSTY, a little Bitcoin, and you got a surrounding neighborhood of nice, valuable asset class, and you receive dividends because of MSTY. Not bad, right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that passive income, you need it. Brian P says thank you. Yes, thank you too, man. I appreciate it. Birthday weekends and birthday today, which again, I always say, world history kind of does matter. The Independence Day, the French Independence Day is today, July 14th, just like our July 4th Independence Day. Just keep that in mind. You never know when it comes in handy on a trivia quiz. I'm just saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's just the tip of the iceberg because once again, the salsa dance is real. Every Friday, there's a payout with YieldMax ETF and Defiance Group and a few other ETFs that we don't normally talk about that often. But again, weekly payouts, monthly payouts, if you can get them and they're giving you some great returns, such as 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% per month, 5%, even if it's 3% per month, there's 12 months a year. Most people would like a 30% return on their money because you get to double your money faster than if it's only earning 7% or 4%, right? So you got to get passive income. Also, I want to say something else because we have to share some love for our own. Some of you like coffee and tea. Some of you would go, Eric, it's summertime. Well, hey, you have iced coffee, you have tea with ice in it, right? Well, you got to go down to Beachfront Java, ladies and gentlemen. That's our own Professor Auntie Val and family. They're out there hard working people trying to get their entrepreneurship going and passive income from their coffee and tea business. So use the promo code after you go there and look through a myriad of different blends from half-pound bags to whole 5-pound bags. And it's not what you think. It's almost like a connoisseur of coffee, different beans. And the beans come from Indonesia, Central America, South America, and Africa. So keep all that in mind. But you use the promo code SSN Lifestyle after your first order, so you get a discount for life. SSN Lifestyle, because it's a lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure that you take good care of yourself. Coffee does help you. That's right. It's unbelievable. It's actually good for you. Can you all believe tea, as we know, has healing powers, depending on what tea it is? But go over there and check it out at beachfrontjava.com. And remember, some of you are going, I have Keurig. Good, good. She has it. Some of you are going, I want whole beans so I can ground it myself. Good. She has it. Some of you are going to go, hey, I like espresso, so I need that fine ground. Good. She has it. Some of you go, oh, I want to take it to my office, or in the morning, I want to let it drip while I'm taking a shower. Good. Has it. No excuse, ladies and gentlemen. Go check it out. Beachfrontjava.com. Use the promo code SSNLifestyle.com. Either way, let them know you're from SSN Nation. It'll all be good. All right, let's go. We need every little help we can get out here. We don't want people left behind. All right. Thank you so much, EV Place, for that, to let people know this is what you're doing. Because, again, I'm not doing what he's doing. I'm more like, hold on a second. Let me check something out. I'll tell you guys where I'm at. I didn't even think about it because I normally was giving a update on mine, but he's doing way better than me. So let me give you guys what mine is real quick. Let's see. We got, let's see. No, that's not what I want to do. Okay. I think it was this. Yeah, see, this past week, I'm not like him. I got 1.6 this past week that went down. But I'll still take 1.6 times 12, which is 14, 15%, and it's still liquid, right? Just on this particular week, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why, think about that. That's a week. So here we go. I'll go with another week. I'll use that number. And then I go, let's see what this, wait, hold on a second. I got to clear this. All right. Uh, okay. 1.6 again. So I guess we're at 3.2. All right. Not bad. So see, I'm way below him. I'm 70, but I'm more like 7. I am 21% over 3 months, which is not bad in returns, but not 30 something. But I'll take it. I'm happy. No problem. All right. EV Play says this week, NVIDIA, PLTY, and Morrow in all three of them. EV Plays because of you. I have Mara and MRNY, by the way. Just so everyone knows, those are all Yieldmax ETFs as well. Passive income this Friday coming up once again. The salsa dance. This is where the party's at, ladies and gentlemen. You can do more. You could say, hey, Eric, the Federal Reserve's going to reduce their interest rates. At least that's what I believe. Jerome Powell should be making a call to me this week, so I'll know exactly. It's a joke. It's a joke. I just play around. But they should be reducing the interest rates at the end of the month. So therefore, all these homes, you guys hear the latest bad news? 29% of homes are on the market or something to that effect. Is that crazy or what? Is this crazy or what? I couldn't believe it. I said, are you kidding me right now? This is insane. I love it. And oh, by the way, remember a few years back, and even right now, I saw people freaking out some things going. I don't. I wish that these corporations wouldn't buy homes. Um, you guys, like I said, they can buy 100. They can buy 1 million home. Who cares? All I know is when homes aren't selling, they can't sell them, and all I know is they still going to have to pay them their property taxes, the HOA fee. They're going to be up to date. So that's good for your city. If you're, I'm like, there's a give and take for everything. They can't do nothing either. Let me see if I can find it. It was 29%. I think it was 20%. 20. It was 29%. I was going to bring it up, but now it's what's happening here. I can't believe this. Hold on a second. All right. Hold on. I know it was 29% of homes are on the market. Was that the ones? Let's double check. I thought it was 29%. The highest since some crazy number. It was pretty high. Let me see. What is it? June 2025 shows the housing inventory across the U.S. was up 29% compared to the previous year. Okay, it's not 29% of homes. It's up 29% compared to last year. All right, this marks the 20th consecutive month of year-over-year inventory gains. Oh my, that's a year and a half. That's a year and a half. Okay. All right. So what they're saying is there's 1 million homes on the market, which is still lower than the record in May 2019 by the record in 2019 was 1,180,000. We're at 1,082,000. Yeah, it's lower than the record in May, not 2019. Yeah, we have 100,000 more to come on the market, which I think is going to happen. I think it's going to happen. In fact, when the Federal Reserve reduces their interest rate, there's going to be a ton. of houses on the market. So again, this is why you're going to need passive income and good credit, ladies and gentlemen. Just so you guys understand, most people in America move on average every 7 years. Think about that. And there's a reason for that. And I'm going to tell you the reason. It's because once the house gets older, there's more repairs. And repairs cost more than when you bought your house. So things keep adding up. It's like, oh, my roof has a problem. Now I got to pay. Well, now it's not 12, 15,000, 25,000 like it used to be to have a whole roof put on. Now you're talking about patchwork could cost. So those type of things matter. That's why you're going to have your passive income. Post-retirement travel, EV Place, congrats. Are you reinvesting, dripping your dividends automatically, or are you keeping the cash and just buying when the price is below your cost average? Very good question. There's some questions that other people may wonder. So let's see if he has an answer. Post-retirement travel, I do reinvesting, but not automatically. I'm choosing which ones. Very good. I do, just so everybody knows, automatic. Um, may not be the best practice, but that's what I do. I don't really matter. I just figure, okay, I'll just get some more shares. It's not really major at this point. Just keep going. One of these days, I'll decide to start siphoning off a little bit and then bringing it back home. But that's great. All right. I do reinvesting. Okay. I'm DCA by reinvesting it to one of the lowest percent changers in my wallet. Very smart as well. That's a good way to do it as well because some of the stocks are low or about at where you wanted them at. So you can dump some more into that. Very smart. Reinvesting the three lowest percentage. I'm only down in TSLY by stock price value. Yes, me too. 300, but I've received over 600 dividends, so I'm still happy. Exactly. That's the trade-off, right? That's the exact trade-off. You can't be mad at that. You're positive 300. So that's not bad. Not bad at all. So I'm not gonna bitch about it. I'm only down. Okay, cool. All right, at EV Place, I see. So you monitor the price daily or weekly. If daily, you basically pick the one with the biggest price change percentage downward, correct? That sounds like you guys are on the same page. Let's see. Post-retirement travel at EV Place. Do you also buy blue chip stocks to balance with growth? Let's see what EV says. I'm setting my limit orders after payout on Friday, usually buying Tuesday, Wednesday. The rest is correct. Yep, blue chip stocks. You have to have them, ladies and gentlemen. Whether it's blue chip stocks or blue chip ETFs. Either way, you got to have the Apples, the Microsofts, or Nvidia, or Google, or the big boys, right? Nvidia has been doing people very, very well. And again, I'm still in shock that in 2025, people actually had an opportunity to get Nvidia under $100, under $90, in the 80s. People would have doubled their money if they would have gotten or close to it because it's still in the 160s right now. But can you imagine just April, 4 months ago? It was 86, 87, 88, 89. 4 months ago, you had an opportunity. And then it went back up over 90. Then it still dropped back under 90 again. So you had two chances to do it. And you had a chance to have AMD. They're also equally moving up as well. You had a chance at everything with regards to chips. So you can't be mad now. But the good news is if you want to invest in NVDA, there's people, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, and other analysts are saying NVIDIA is going to go to $200. One said it's going to go to 250. So this is why it's been moving up because people are expecting it and it's performing accordingly. All right. So EVS has his own plan. I love it. You guys can see it right here. All right. He says AOMW blue chips, but more in gold and crypto. There you go. There you go. Have to have a little crypto. Got to have a little gold. Got to have a little silver. you're good. And a little crypto. But you also have passive income coming in from your dividends, and you get appreciation from AOMW. All right. Apple, Microsoft, some. Exactly. I was lucky to enter in the Yomax when we were on the edge of possible recession. There was blood everywhere. Exactly, EV Place. It was like a heaven sent, like I said. And it was only for like 3 days. I think it was 3 or 4 days, that window initially. And all I remember is just pointing when I'm telling people, how are you going to sit here and do something? Or you're just going to sit on the sideline? You can't. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity because we knew back then the tax cut, tax breaks was going to pass. We knew back then, last year, we talked about it on live streams. Nvidia announced they're going to buy $3 billion worth of their stock over the next 3 years. That was in 2024. So it continues. And then people forget the ETFs are out here buying Nvidia stock as well. People are buying it. Millionaires are buying it. Ordinary people are buying it. So it's going to run up with them also buying their own shares of stock. Come on now. Let's get real. You guys have to understand this is what's happening. And by the way, all of the blue chip stocks are buying their shares of stock courtesy of taxpayers. You guys give yourself a bow. Tax cut, tax breaks, they get their money back after they've already bought their shares of stock to run up the price. Now they get to do it again. Are you paying attention? All right, let's go. You got to join the party. You can't be sitting on the sidelines after you gave tax money too. You got to recoup some money somewhere. Don't sit there like a bump on a log. All right, let's go. Don't do it. EV Place, interesting. That's a great idea. Setting your purchase orders when it hits the price below your cost average. I like it. I'll check with Robinhood. The order will have to adjust daily. No, you can I think you can, in Robinhood you can run it out. Good for up to 1 year, I think, right? Or 90 days, something like that. Either way, you can just set it out for a long period of time if you want to. All right, that's exactly right. Post retirement travel. Yeah, yeah, but you can run it out if you want to. You if you do limit orders. So, um, yeah, I think it runs. Yeah, I think I know it runs 90 days, but I think there's something that you can actually make it go a year if you want it. So if it ever drops below that, you can always buy, which works too. Yeah, you can adjust for a long time. It's up to you. Yeah, exactly. I could have sworn it's a year. So you have an opportunity all along. And you're hearing it here, ladies and gentlemen, what to do. Dollar cost average is real. Again, there was people like me. My dollar cost average, for instance, I'll use Nvidia because it's a hot stock. It was 111 or 117. I can't really remember, somewhere in there. But when it dropped to 80, obviously, like 85, 90, I had to buy more. It's over, it was like $20 below. So I had to buy more to bring my dollar cost average down. So now you get it under $100 dollar cost average. Now when it goes to 164, 64% return on your money versus it would have only been, well, only, but still 50. That's a big difference. That's a big difference, ladies and gentlemen. 50 and 64 is a huge difference. So that's why DCA dollar cost average is major. And that's what we were able to take advantage of in April, is when all of the stocks went down to almost and below their 52-week low. So you had no choice but to just buy some more to bring your dollar cost average down as far as possible. Because now when we have these record high stock markets, which one of S&P hit the other day, but then it came back a little bit, but it's going to go break records. So now all the stocks rise up. If the stock goes 5, 10, 20, 30%, you win. your dollar cost average is now 30% lower or 20% lower. That's the point of dollar cost average. Now, again, passive income is a must, but you can set it up with what we're talking about tonight. You can get your Yield Max ETF, your Defiance groups, or you can get any other dividend stock that you love. Hell, I don't care, Pepsi, Coke, whatever you like, but you got to have some dividends, passive income coming in while you're working, while you're going to sleep, while you're on vacation, while you're traveling on your worldwide tour number 2 for the year, like post-retirement travel and fam. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just want everybody to win. You guys have to pay attention. You have to get the passive income. By the way, I talk about people needing help, and you got to go to findhelp.org. All right, just go to findhelp.org, put in your zip code. It has to be in the United States. There's nonprofit organizations that can help you out. Some do it for free. America safety nets are getting bombarded, trying to get removed. They are being removed. And you may need some help with something, and you don't even know that there's actually free help available to you. I'll give you the question that a lot of people ask. People say, why do they give immigrants more opportunities than American citizens? Well, there's a reason. When somebody comes here from another country, there's somebody at the border or at the courthouse or whatever, and they already have a list of things that can help with an immigrant that's from outside the United States. There's service, there's funding, because we have the Geneva Convention Agreement. We're in NATO, we're in the WTO. All of these things combined, we're obligated to help immigrants, right, or refugees. So there's money. So they have a list, so they know where to go. But see, here in America, American system doesn't blatantly just give a list and tell Americans, here's where you can go to get free food. Here's where you can go to get medical help if you don't have medical insurance. Here's where you can go to get free job training. See, none of that is readily available. So they make you look. So that's why we had the courtesy of Matthew Lesko being on, and he said, go to findhelp.org just for starters. So if you go there, there's lots of things. Even if you need mental health and you need to go meet in a meeting, they have that free. You normally have to pay, but they have free services for that. They have free services for caregiver help and also groups and caregiver actual help to bring caregivers in. If you have someone ill, they have all kind of things that helps people. Transportation help, such as bus passes and discount bus passes, things like this. Depends on your zip code, depends on the funding that was given to your state by the federal government or the state government. So go check it out. Now, if you want to get grants and get into that, then you can go to lescohelp.com, LESKO help.com. Do not do the monthly. He charges on purpose $25 per month. And yet a 6-month or a 12-month deal will be like $60. The reason why you would want to join is because if you are looking for grants, guess what happens? Just like attorneys, if you say, hey, something happened to me, does anybody know where to get this grant? And they'll ask you, where do you live? What city, state? And more than likely in an hour, somebody's going to come back and say, here's where you go get this grant or you go get this help, because findhelp.org doesn't have everything on it. It's a group of thousands of people over the last 20 years that he's been having Let's Go Help. He doesn't advertise it that at all. It's just that people like me who knows, who's had the pleasure of meeting him. He tells me, hey man, come over to letsgohelp.com, and I got people back there that do incredible things, because I can't do everything, and I couldn't believe it, because again, I witnessed it. First time I was in, I said, okay, let me go see what's happening. And somebody asked a question like 11 a.m. in the morning. By 2 p.m., they had like 3 people that sent them 10 things each. I was like, this is incredible. And then I started looking in past things, and that's what happens. They help people. And right now, more people than ever are going to need help. The cost of living is rising. So that's why, while you have money, disposable income, do not buy liabilities, buy assets that pay you, a little assets that pay you, and then assets for the future that can gain appreciation, such as a great blue chip stock. If you don't know what that is, then just Google blue chip stocks. Then do your research. You're going to have to take control, ladies and gentlemen. Your job's not going to cover you. Your insurances may not cover you in the future. So you're going to have to take control over one of the few things that you do control, and that is you and how much money you're going to try to make this month, and next month, and next year. Your future is going to be dependent on what you're doing. If you're not buying anything that can give you money without working for it, you're going to run out of working for it money, because you are not going to be able to keep up with inflation unless you have a high paying job. It's simple as that. You cannot keep up with inflation, because right now you have 80% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck sometime during the month. You have Canadians, even worse. 85% of Canadians are living paycheck to paycheck sometime during the month. That's very bad for any country. So keep that in mind. And that's why you got to go with that passive income, ladies and gentlemen. It's mandatory right now. No way around it. All right. Now, EV place. That's right. Electric vehicle place, ladies and gentlemen. Just keep that in your head, because he does something that's special too. I got to show some love, right? Because people that love music in their cars, and I'm pretty sure this application could be used for something else. But right now, you're going to have to, you guys know sound. Anybody that loves music in their car and they've altered their music or sound system in their car, you know how much it costs. And you know, in order to get clean power without distortion is a major thing. If you're a connoisseur of highs, lows, mids, and it sounds great when you're driving down the street and nothing's rattling around, then you need to see this man, because he has a system that can recharge a 700 watt and up power supply that you don't have to have your car on to run it. So that is pretty cool. And it recharges when you are running your car. So you're always hitting out that great sound with enough power to give you crisp, clear music. That's right. So where do you go get it? Ask a seller. That's what you do. Go ask a seller. I'm going to put it in the chat room so everybody in the future. There you go. Go check it out. You can hit him up and he'll describe a little bit more for you. But if you love music, and I know a lot of people get caught up with brand names. You know what's funny? I don't know brand names anymore, but there used to be systems in car that supposedly the brand names, yada yada. And then once you open up your panels, you're like, I thought this was brand name. It's not even top tier stuff in here. It is brand name, but because they sell it in the public eye and it's not special, they're putting in the quantity order so that they order, right? They're not giving you the best of their branding. They're giving it because you're selling about 2 million cars this year and they're putting them in 2 million cars. Once you start looking at your system, you're like, man, why'd they use this gauge wire? I could get better sound if I had this gauge wire. What the hell's going on around here? Then you realize that extra sticker price that you got out there that said, oh yeah, this sound system, $10,000 more, wasn't worth $10,000 more. All right. Just so you guys understand, it matters when you have professionals on the site. So go hit them up. You guys see it in the chat room. This is running for life. Go over there to eBay, hit them up, ask seller a question. Maybe you guys like the car stereo, and he'll hook you up or help hook you up, because unless you live where he lives, he can't come and do something, I would imagine. All right, let's go. Oh, I went back too far. We don't have a. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay. New sound order. That's it. New sound order. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's in the chat room on several different platforms. It's on ebay.us. You'll see it. It goes directly to what he actually has. He actually installs it too, so it can be clean. You always like clean when you do your stereo. You guys know this. All you stereo heads out there, you guys know, car stereo guys, you know how it is. Just like in your house. When you have a cool stereo system in the house, you got to keep that stuff nice and tight, clean. At least 99% of the guys got to keep it clean. There's always the one that says, I don't care if the wires are showing. I don't care if it's not flush up in the wall or flush up in the box in the back. No, professionals. We want it clean, ladies and gentlemen. Just saying. All right. Brian P. Hey, Eric. No, I can't check out emails, man. I'm blocked. You can't. I can't bullet 365 for the business. They're switching to this Copilot. Microsoft Copilot is telling me to download the app. Now I download the app, and the app is like trying to get me to do something else. So I'm locked out. So no, unfortunately, I can't get there, man. I can't get there. It's crazy, and I still can't get in on my laptop, which is even crazier. Oh, hold on. Nope, can't get in. I was trying before I came on because I know my box is going to be full, and it's driving me crazy. But there's nothing I can do about it. I put in the Java, so now I'm going to have to deal with online help or make a phone call after this live stream. It's sad, really. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. You're going to have to help me out then. Something going on with the night trading, NVIDIA, QQQVOO, and SPY going vertical. Get ready for launch, team. Bring it. Money. There we go. Oh, yes. That's what I love to hear. You know what that indicates? That indicates a couple of things. That indicates the inflation number. They already know it. At least that's what I gather from it. Who knows if it's true what I'm thinking? But I'm thinking they already know the inflation number is not crazy. So that means, yep, it's vertical. Yep, it just poof. Jeez, holy smokes, it's vertical, all right. Are you kidding me right now? Something happened, ladies and gentlemen. Something happened. That is awesome. Oh, wow. Even NVDY went vertical. Holy smokes. JEPQ went vertical. Holy smokes. Bitcoin went back vertical. Wow. 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 This is crazy. Oh yeah, VOO. Oh, there. Oh, Nvidia VOO is video. Oh my God. Oh my VGT's vertical. I mean, this is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. There must be something that happened right now. It's launching. We already told you guys, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new here, we've been telling people for this whole year, it's going to be off the charts, no matter who's in office, because the Federal Reserve was going to reduce the rates. Now it's going to be on fire because of the tax cut, tax breaks. And not only that, crypto. They had their talk tonight as we speak in Washington, D.C. So again, something could have been said there. But all I know is that means all systems go, as Post Retirement Travel says. Get ready for launch, team. Suit up. Get in the game. And then, by the way, if you still haven't downloaded the brokerage account, Robinhood, Webull, anything like that, well, I can't help you immediately. But after this live stream on the replay, down below in the description box. Get your free shares in stock from Robinhood, Webull, Moomoo. Robinhood gives you 1 free share of stock. It's that simple. So don't expect anything crazy. All right. 1 free share of stock, but you just sign up. Webull, you have to deposit 100, just be safe, $100 or more. And then that qualifies you to get anywhere from 5 free shares of stock to 15 or 20 fractional shares. But at least you're in the game there. And Moomoo is almost like a clone of, but nonetheless, it's similar. They do it where you have to deposit $100 or more, and then they freeze the free shares of stock they're going to give you for 60 days to make sure you just don't withdraw under $100. It's simple. Whether it's in stocks or $100 cash, you can't withdraw. Your account has to average $100 for 60 days. Then they'll give you your free shares of stock. It's that simple. Nothing too crazy, but just letting you know all of them. And some of you watching this, I will always have to say, some of you go, I don't want to deal with stocks. Fair enough. I would rather just give my money to like a mutual fund or put it in an ETF. Fine. VOO, VTI, VGT, VOOG. Any of those can help you. Or you can go to Wealthfront, which is also down below in the description box. Those were stock symbols that I was describing. You can go down below in the description. You'll get with Wealthfront. Put in $500 up to $4,900. They manage your money for free until your balance grows to $5,000 or more. And then once it hits that, then they charge you like a 0.75% fee annually to manage your money. And so in this particular environment, it will go up. Will it go up as much as if you're holding the VOO or the Apples or the Microsoft or the Nvidia or the Amazon stocks? I don't know. But they will go up substantially because this stock market is going to hit all-time record highs, all 3 indexes. So do not get left behind. So anyhow, I put it down below in the description box so everybody should not have a problem now. Should be very easy for you, so you don't have to worry about that. So again, you put yourself in position, and I would be remiss if I did not mention biz, buy, sell. All right? Biz, buy, sell. If you start a business, at least get a business that already exists and you know it makes profit. Do not do any high risk, high rewards because a new business is a liability. Most of the time, you're going to have to put more money in than you're going to get out if it's a new business. And then you have to survive. Whereas if there's a business that is surviving and they do make money, then why would you not invest in that versus trying to start from scratch? You didn't have to build up the market. You didn't do customer acquisition costs. You didn't do anything like that. So that gives you a huge advantage. And what's even better, because it's mom and pop businesses most of the time, even though they do have franchises or whatever, but it's mom and pop business. So now it goes with humans because a person might have done it for 20 years. He says, you know what? I've been doing this ever since I was 20 years old. I'm now 40 or 45. I'm just tired. I don't get to spend time with my family because it's rough out here. I got to be there like 12 hours a day, 11 hours a day, and I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. So why don't you take over payments, pay me some of the profits out. I'll let you buy it for X amount with the 5-year due balloon at the end or whatever. You just never know what people are doing. That's humans. Everybody has different things going on. You just don't know oftentimes why a person's going to sell. They might be candid with you, and they might give you that offer. And it's making money. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to pay them. Let's just call it what it is. So there's opportunities like that with bizbuysell.com. Can you believe that? I know, it's pretty cool. All right. So we get you in the game. That's another way you can get your passive incomes on. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, Brian P. I can't check the emails. Here are some of the news articles. All right, man. You make it depressing. Oh, no. Here we go. I see some cops. SF, Oakland cops illegally funneled license plate data. I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming. It's already been a thing, quite frankly. And this is what people don't understand where you live. You live in a police state and you always have. But the police state has always been for the minority groups, right? Because they've been um, villainized. Just like when they say immigrants are bad and rapists and this, that, and the other. So they make them out to be villains, drug dealers, and all this, when in fact it's hardly from the truth of the matter, right? So, but they're villainized. So when we go arrest them, breaking the constitutional rules and all that and law rules, there you don't care. That's why they villainize the people. So they make them less than like animals. And then you go, oh, yeah, who cares if you pick them up in the street and drag them into a dungeon and lock the key and they're not guilty of anything. They're just bad people. See, that's what happens. So when you see stuff like this, license plate data, the reason they do this in well, like I said, I'm black, I'm minority, so this is our neighborhood, this is our life. They run your plates while they're driving behind you. Then they're seeing, okay, does the person have warrants? Have they ever had warrants? Have they ever been in jail? And if they have any of that, then they're gonna whoop whoop just to roll up to the window. What's happening? Why you stop? Oh well, wait, is that weed I smell? It's like uh that's their first go to. After they, have that little BS and hey, can we search the car? You don't got no reason why we can't search the car, right? Yeah, we got a reason because there's nothing happening. What'd you pull me over for? So that's how they can escalate it by they search your car. Then if you have, I don't know what you could have, but if you had something that's illegal or like even an open beer can or alcohol, which you shouldn't have, anything, that's when they go to, can I search the car? Because they didn't pull you over for nothing, but now they search the car. Now they're finding something, right? Anything they can find to try and get you hemmed up, so the car's getting towed, you'll be in jail for overnight or for nothing. But that's another, fingerprinting in the systems that keep it moving. You get out, okay, fine. But again, now you got to go down and get your car for $185, $200 because it's been for less than, well, they hooked it up. So that's their game. So this license plate thing has always been a thing for me, right? This is how they operate. This is how cops operate. Now, what they're trying to do, it sounds like funneling license plate data. Since we're worldwide now, that means they can send that data across state lines to other agencies and put in a database like at Palantir. Just think about that. All right. So that's where things start getting really crazy. All right. So Yoast, 9 providers indicted, accused of stealing 1.2 million from Medicaid. Well, well, well. Looky again. The rich guys doing it again. Rick Scott should have been going to jail. From Florida. Stole from Medicaid and somehow became governor and somehow became a senator. Like, I guess people don't care when criminals be criminals and then run in office and government and act like they're not going to be criminals. This is insane. This is not shocking. We have Trump pardoning 3 people that did Medicaid fraud that were supposed to be in jail for 20 to 30 to 40 years. Never going to have to pay back their victims now. We're talking about 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars worth of Medicaid fraud. Not from individuals that people would think you can't get. If I get Medicaid, I can't do the fraud because your doctor sends a claim to Medicaid. Your health facility sends the claim. So the only person that can do fraud is the healthcare professionals. They're the ones sending the claim in. The individual doesn't send the claim for service. But funny, you don't see any of these guys getting arrested normally. But here we have some more people indicted. But like I said, there's at least 3 people that were indicted for Medicaid fraud, and Trump pardoned all 3. And now they're going to cut Medicaid with the tax break bill. And Medicare, by the way, claiming there's fraudulent activity. Yeah, damn right it's fraudulent activity. It's the rich guys. But they don't seem to be in jail in America. All right. I don't need to get started, but it hurts. It hurts. Floridians filed 10 million class action lawsuit against the DMV. Oh, how appointment scalping likely played a role. Ay, 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 this is bad. Oh, I know post retirement. I saw this before I came on. I just was like, let me see what happened with Robinhood. And I was like, this is like going up like hell. It's at its 52-week high, by the way, at $71 well, it's 52-week high is like $72, but it's at its 71.50, and I'm sure after this little burst that happened at night, it's going to be over 72, a 52-week high for Hood. Can you guys believe that? Can you guys believe Robinhood has come back from the depths of hell to be a viable company and stock? And I got to give them credit after their fiasco. They got their act together and they've been blowing it out of the park. Robinhood stock Hood is actually on fire. Incredible return year to date. Look at the chart from 4th of April until now. That's crazy. I know. I was looking at it earlier. I was in shock. I was just like, no. Because we talked about this. I didn't get HOOY, which is a YieldMax ETF. I didn't get in. And then I don't have HOOD either. Lost twice. You can't win them all, ladies and gentlemen. We can try, but we can't win them all. And by the way, I don't even believe that it's still a good, even though it's at its 52-week high. I think it's going to keep going higher because they moved into another arena. They moved into mortgage. They had that 5.9% mortgage. They know good and well when the Federal Reserve reduces the interest rate, they're in play now. And even better, they have people on their app that are going to be selling homes. These are people, if they're making investments, they're usually literate in investing. So they're going to have millions of customers, and they're already ahead of the curve at 5.9% mortgage rate. And what's even better, because, oh man, you guys, because the Dodd-Frank Act, some other acts were removed, they can almost act just like a bank, and a bank can act like them. That's what's crazy right now. So these guys can actually have all kind of services, and you know what's coming next? They're going to look at your brokerage account and be like, hey, this guy has X amount of money in there. We can give him a lower rate as long as he allows us to use his leverage. And people are going to do it. And they're going to be sitting pretty. So they're going to be manufacturing all these loans. And then if you're not familiar, I got to tell you guys what's coming next. It's genius. It's all legal. The next thing that they're going to do is once they get that piece of paper from the mortgage, you guys know I love derivatives. And imagine having tens of thousands of mortgages, which translates into hundreds of millions of dollars, and going around waving it like, who will give me, we'll just use 100 million, who will give me $40 million? Because I don't really want to wait 30 years to get paid. I'll take my 40 million now, and then let's go get some more paper, ladies and gentlemen. See where we're going with this? HOOD even at its all-time high right now in 2025, I'll be willing to bet you we'll be talking about all-time highs in 2026 and 2027. You got 1 year, 5 months, ladies and gentlemen, to get everything in order. So I just talked myself into getting some hood tomorrow, right? Even at all-time record highs, because I believe that's what's going to happen, because they have a brokerage account, they have margin accounts, they have um, stock that people are buying in their account, because remember, all brokerage accounts are a not only the stocks that you buy, you rolled money in, you own stocks, you're holding it on there. The stocks they're holding is a derivative. So assets under management always means they can go get loans at interest only loans, even from the Fed, even from Wells Fargo, even from Bank of America, even from JP Morgan. So that means they can do a lot of things and make other investments, like go get some treasuries for 4.4% and bring some money in every month in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Start doing the math. $100 million, 4%. Start doing the math. Nobody's going to be mad about somebody getting $4 million annually, right? 4,400,000 every year. Who's going to be mad about that? It's not your money. It's the people that's been investing on their platform. So again, arbitrage is a thing. That's why you have to be in the big boy game, ladies and gentlemen. You can do it too, by the way, because you can always do loans against your brokerage account, just like Elon Musk. So again, be in the game. All right, let's go. Yeah, so thank you for bringing that up, post-retirement travel, because this is one that we missed. Well, I missed, because I think it was EV Place or Brian P. or somebody that mentioned it like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, HOOY with YieldMax ETF. And I was like, yeah, I got to get some hood and that. And then I didn't. But it's all right. I'm still happy. I need to pick up hood. Yes, I agree. That's the way I'm looking at it. Egg recall update. One link. Map shows sickness spread to 10 states. What are the 10 states, Brian P? We need to know this. We need to know where this is. Egg recall. Good God. Yes, HOOD, ladies and gentlemen. Get your stocks down below. Make it happen. All right? Don't be left behind. Okay. Let's see. Oh wow, Dora. Oh man, I got a notice on the American supercar, the C8 ZR1, 233 miles per hour. But unfortunately, it's in supercar territory price wise. It's 175 grand. But it is badass. But it's against the rules. That's a liability. And you're going to have to be very careful over the next few years, because collectibles, cars, the former supercars, are they really going to hold their value? Because only a few people, it's for the upper 1% basically to be buying these cars at these prices. Will they hold their value like they've done over all these years? Or do people finally see what they are? Because it just always drove me crazy. Even though the Ferrari guys would be like, Eric, you can pick whichever Ferrari you want out of here. I've always had a problem. No matter how much I love those cars, right? The Lambos, even though the Lambos are beautiful to look at, but I'm like 6'1", 6'2". I don't like going down trying to get in a car at 2 feet off the ground. As you get older, I'm like, hold on, man, this car's too low. It looks badass. It's cool. But all those cars, I always had a problem, because my thing was, I look at the guys and I'd say, yeah, these cars are cool. Yeah, I would love to get one, but I'm not. And they would always say, why? And I said, because it's against my rules. There's no way I'm going to be buying a car for $170,000, $150,000. And then you tell me in 3 years that I got to pay for repairs and maintenance and upkeep. I'm like, this thing better have a freaking up repairs and upkeeps for like life of at least 10 years. Otherwise, this isn't even a car because how far am I going to drive? I was like, this doesn't make any sense to me. You might as well then just get a $20,000 car and drive it till the wheels fall off and invest the rest of the money. And then they're like, yeah, that's, the rich guys do invest, but they like these cars. I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense to me. Unless you guys, something that you're going to do a 10-year maintenance and upkeep, then let me get the, $30,000 car that's going to give me the maintenance and upkeep for 5 years. Why am I going to do this? This makes no sense. And if anything goes crazy, you guys are going to try and charge me? I said, that doesn't even make sense. This costs way too much. I expect more. And they just laugh because they know they're going to get other people to buy these things. But I just sits wrong with me to do that. It's against the rules. All right. Just keep things in mind. I'm going to make this short and sweet tonight. I'm not going to be on too long. Time for some more champagne and although I haven't had any champagne yet, but time for some champagne and cake, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll make it happen that way as well. But don't miss Wednesday night because on Wednesday, we're going to know what the YieldMax ETFs are going to dispense this week. We like to get the preview so everybody can get, we're getting the vibes. We always have the vibes. YieldMax ETF is always on the move. Monday payouts, Friday they notify you, at least on the Robinhood platform. And then on Moomoo, sometimes they actually do the dividends on Friday. It's weird though. It's sometimes on Monday. And Webull is also kind of like that. They'll do it same here Monday. But either way, Monday, definitive. All of them do it. So that's what's beautiful. And then on Tuesday, actually, you can find out Tuesday too, but Wednesday, for a fact. So don't miss 8:50 p.m. Wednesday night and come back because stock market beginners, you guys need to be here. If you want to earn dividends and still get 30, 40, 50% return and get appreciation on your stock market, what you're holding, then you're in the right house. And there's one last thing that I have not mentioned that I always mention. And that is real estate investment trust in an environment where the Federal Reserve starts reducing the interest rates. Those will be on fire as far as the stock will appreciate a little bit. But right now, you can get 14, 15, 16, 17, 18% return annually on a real estate investment trust. Some of you are going to say, well, which one's Eric? Okay, I'm going to go with high risk, high rewards. How about ARR? That's at around, I think, 18% right now. ORC, perennial, 14, 15%. PSEC, perennial, 14, 15%. NLY, ABR, I'm giving you a whole bunch. AGNC. And by the way, you can still get a JP Morgan at around 11%. JEPQ, that's an ETF. JP Morgan ETF. You can't go wrong with that. The number one bank, I think, in the world. They're here in the U.S. Nothing wrong with being part of JP Morgan family, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So far, so far, nothing wrong. Now, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, that's a whole nother story for me. U.S. Bank, all of them gone. We've had run-ins, stolen monies. Yes, banks steal money in case you haven't got the memo yet. All right. What else? If there's anything you guys want to talk about, put it down below in the comment section. Let's go. What do we see here? Hold on, let me get this off. A new map based on CDC data shows the outbreak is now spread across 10 states: Arizona, California, Kentucky, Nebraska, Nevada, New Jersey, Washington, Utah, Colorado, and Kansas. He's talking about the egg recall, ladies and gentlemen. Those are some of the biggest states. So that's dangerous. When you include Arizona, California, New Jersey, right next to Philly and New York, and Washington, D.C., Virginia, or Washington. That's probably East Coast, Washington State to Seattle area, Utah, Salt Lake City. That could be bad. Colorado and Kansas have less. Well, not really, I guess. Denver, Colorado's there. Kansas. Yeah, so that's not good. Not good at all. In major cities could be affected. The outbreak, oh, the first bubonic plague showed up in America. Ladies and gentlemen, this is out. This is crazy. Again, you have a government that's trying to kill you because they're trying to tell you do not do vaccines, do not do this, don't listen to doctors, da 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 da. First of all this stuff, measles and all that was under control. There was, I mean, a breakout of measles in freaking 2025 is insane. All right, that was a simple shot handles all this. Um, Now bubonic plague, which hopefully there's no spread of that. That would be bad. Strongest rank in the nation. Here we go. Strongest bank in the nation, JP Morgan Chase. Exactly. Agree. JEPI and JEPQ are also beauties. Exactly. JEPI. The only reason I said JEPQ is because it's giving a little bit higher dividend and it should be over 11%. JEPI gives a little less, and I think it's like 9%. So that 2% difference is the reason why I mentioned it. But thank you so much because JEPI is equally. Nobody is going to turn down 9, 10, 11% dividends, ladies and gentlemen. Dividends. They pay every month, I think. I'm pretty sure. Can't remember. I think it's every month. Right on time. Strongest bank in the nation, strongest bank in the world. Now, give yourself a bow, ladies and gentlemen, because you, taxpayers, you contributed to their success after 2008 bank bailout. JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, all of them except Lehman Brothers got bailout help. Taxpayers. All right. Just remember you as a taxpayer, what you're doing to help the country. And then if you have any kids, cover your mouth. Then they shit on us by making us pay for their tax cuts and tax breaks and subsidies. Saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. I'm going to end this tonight. I want to thank everybody for being here. But again, 2025, buy assets that pay you. Then take it into 2026. We have 1 year, 5 months left. So you basically have December 31st, 2026. You should have everything in order. Your credit should be good. 775 or higher. Get your expenses down. You want credit, ladies and gentlemen, or you want credit score, because after this, you've worked hard getting your portfolio together. You worked hard getting that passive income coming in or a job, but you still have passive income. You made your investment, whether it's in the stock market, real estate, or business, you have that. Then in 2027, you're going to be able to make moves because everything should be rocking and rolling and you should be able to take advantage, but you're going to use other people's money at low interest rates because your credit score is going to be 775 or more. You need some help with getting your credit in order without filing bankruptcy, then hey, I should have mentioned this early. Go see a debt restructuring professional. How do you do that? You email our woman, Tracy, at resolvefinance.com, TRACY at resolvefinance.com. What they do is they do it like how the big boys do it. You have a loan. You go in and you say, I can't pay this loan anymore. I can pay the same amount, but I'm having a hard time. Can you restructure this for me? So then a restructure, in this case, would look like Well, you owe $10,000. We'll knock off, cut it in half, or we'll take off a third. You pay that remaining amount over the next year and a half, 2 years. We won't put you in a debt collector situation. You'll be all good. We'll say it's paid in full. You won't be late. It takes a year and a half to 2 years. So you can do your debt restructuring. You can't get any new credit though. So that's why you need passive income, possibly. That's why you need to have different monies coming in besides your job. That puts you back on track. And on the other side, you'll be in that 720 to 775 range. Tracy at resolvefinance.com. Let her know you're from SSN Nation. All right. Just do it. Hold on. And I'll put it in the chat room just so you guys can have the email, and people who watches this on replay won't have a problem. So again, let them know. All right. EV Place. He says it best. Enjoy the cake, Eric. Thank you so much. Happy birthday. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So there we go. Tracy at Resolve Finance. You guys have it. So make use of it. Restructure your credit if you need to without filing bankruptcy. The best case scenario. They report it good because that's the agreement, right? You get it paid off at a discounted price because most of it, a lot of it is interest. So they will take less because you're going to pay it off in a short time frame, but your payment could be the same or less. It's a beautiful work. Let her do it. She loves it. She helps people like what we do here in the SSN Nation. The model still holds true with her as well. So hit up Tracy at resolvefinance.com if you want to restructure your debt and get back in the game, because January 2027, you're going to be able to get your bat ready. All right. It's baseball time. You're going to be looking for home runs, and you'll be able to get a few because you'll put yourself in position where you'll have the credit. You'll have your cash flow should be a little better now because your debt is gone, or should be pretty close to gone. And now you put yourself in position to buy assets. And that's what we're looking for. All right. Okay. When there's going to be an implosion, all right, there's going to be an implosion. So you're going to be able to buy up assets just like the big boys. So then you're going to be a big boy later, right? Generational wealth. It's coming. You have a shot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to run out of here. I thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. I love you guys very much. I thank you so much for watching the videos, but make sure you share the videos, and please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. You're going to have to put in work. It's going to be hard. The cost of living is going to continue to increase. There's no way around it. When the Federal Reserve reduces the interest rate, there's going to be a run on price increases, unfortunately. So all of this is going to go hand in hand. Tariffs incoming as well. Some have been paused till August. Some have been paused till September. It's all of that, but prices are still going to increase. There's no way around it. We're adding money to the money supply. All of that factors in. Again, some of you don't know, but I used to always talk about monopoly money. Just think about something. Think about at the end of a monopoly game, how does it end? It ends with the money going into the hands of the rich because they own the assets that you land on, right? The houses you land on to pay rent. You got to go across the train tracks and pay on the train. All these things on the monopoly board. But think about the one person in the case of monopoly has all the money. But imagine if he then says, I will give you a loan to buy my house. Okay? Or I will give you the down payment. Here's 10%. I'm going to loan you 10%. And then you pay me. Not only do you pay me every time you land on me, but you pay me extra. But that's too convoluted. I'll go the other route. That one person has all the money. And let's just say you get to call up Jerome Powell, you and your friends. Say, Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve, can I get an interest only loan for 2% for 15 years? And all of a sudden, you have more money combined between the three or four of you than the winner of the event. And the winner of the event is going to probably say, that's not fair. Now you're going to be sitting there going, can we buy your place? And he's probably going to say no. And then you're going to say, well, how about if we give you $200,000 for your $10,000 place? He might say yes. But you understand, we just added money out of thin air, which is going to cause inflation because now we have more than double the money that the game even started with. So we've actually devalued his currency. You do understand that, right? That's basically what we're doing in America when we sell bonds, when we give loans for houses. That's why inflation is always going to be in play. You're going to have to spend more money to buy the same thing year over year over year, and it keeps going. It's not going to change. So get yourself prepared with low debt. Credit is sky high as you can get it. 775 and up is my recommended levels. It's going to be hard because that means you have low debt in order to have a 775. You just can't be maxing out cards or even have 50% of your cards maxed or 50% of the debt on your cards used. You have to have low debt. 90% has to be gone. You have to have a card of $10,000, right? That means you have to have under $1,000, $600, something of that nature, just to give you guys an idea how you have to get to that 775. A $20,000 card, you can't have 10,000 or 15,000 on it or 8,000 on it. All right. You have to be under 2,000 owed on a $20,000 card. In fact, you got to be more like 700 owed, just to give you guys an idea. All right. That would be better. So it's not for the faint at heart because a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck, but that's why you need extra income coming in so you can stop living paycheck to paycheck so you can pay down your debts. So therefore, your credit will go up dramatically. And we got another 1 year, 5 months to achieve that goal, but get started right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, I'll see you on Wednesday night at 8:50 p.m. And I want to thank you so much for being here tonight and listening, and share your friends. Give them a link. Let them know where they can come. We're trying to help everybody before it's too late. There's going to be a too late. But if it is, at least you have assets that you can make moves with. All right. With all that said, make sure you stay safe, as I said, and keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm